Hey, my name is Wally, and I'm a competitive Counter-Strike player. I'll be doing a demo review, and I'll be keeping it short, sweet, and to the point. This is not a comprehensive live demo review pointing out mechanics and giving ideas. Rather, this is a more focused video for a player who contacted me to learn and improve. Before we jump in, it's important to know your coach, so I want to cover where my experience comes from. I have 11 seasons of ESEA, 9 of which are in Open, and 2 are in Intermediate. My best performance would be Season 24, where we made playoffs, went 3-1, and finished 20th in North America. I've played multiple ESEA and CEVO online tournaments for various events, and I would share my CEVO experience next, but seeing as the website is gone, so too is my memory. I'm currently a level 8 Faceit player, and I have my completely useless Premier stats to put on screen here. Most importantly, though, I've attended 10 LANs for CSGO, 5 Virginia local LANs, 1 local LAN in New York, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, and the last 2 are both Fragadelphia attendances. I think Fragadelphia 6 and 8 specifically. Neither of these required online qualifiers like they do now, so take my participation with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, let's jump in. The player who reached out to me is called naikz. He sent me a demo from his recent online league match. I asked him what to look out for in the demo, and he gave me 2 statements. I felt invisible, and I don't think I made much impact. During the review, I was specifically on the lookout for facts that I thought supported his perspective. When I was done, I had 4 major points. 2 rounds in this game, he saw 0 people. Absolutely no one. It happens, but it will give you that feeling of invisibility. He had 1 round with multi-kills, meaning 0 2Ks, and just 1 3K on pistol. In the 23 rounds of play, he only had 4 opening kill attempts, 1 on T-side, 3 on CT, and only 1 of those 4 attempts was successful. Lastly, his opponents were not aggressive on buy rounds. I think this is an essential part of demo review. You ask your player what to look out for, and then do some fact-checking, just to make sure the context supports the claim. Commonly heard, players at the end of a match say, "I had no impact." We all understand in that moment inherently you mean, "I negatively impacted this game." You were doing the things you should be doing, but you weren't winning those things. This is semantics, but hear me out. This is really important for player improvement. If a player and a coach don't agree on the goals that should be worked on, in this case it's a way to feel less invisible in the game, then any advice I give is tainted. I preface with this because naikz's impact in this game was big, and I was thinking about how to have a conversation with him about how to view his impact differently. While I was watching, I saw a player with a crucial support role on pistol. He was entry for his team on anti-eco, and our first buy round, he buys his teammate an AK in return for a scout. I was seeing consistent, impactful decision-making from naikz, things that make him feel very visible. Round 11 is the first time he gets an op in his hands. It's his primary role, so I'm not overly surprised to see it, nor am I surprised to see him go for opening picks. I am surprised at how the mid-round plays out. After opening picks, naikz turns into a completely passive anchor on rounds 11, 12, 15, and 20. This becomes the foundation of what I want to address, and it's what I focus on in this demo. While there are other mistakes and misplays to look at, like in round 25, the point of this video is to be concise. It's more important to address the how or why naikz seems to be getting stuck in poor positioning mid-round. This is when he should be most comfortable. Instead, I see a player who second guesses where he should rotate to or picks poor positions multiple times in a single round. None of this, by the way, is happening when he doesn't have an op. Again, he's much more structured in how he plays then. We chat a bit more now that I've reviewed the demo, and he mentions having more freedom and comfort on this team. On round 11, he puts himself in no man's land lurking stairs while his teammate takes A. He's worried about 2 pushes at once and ends up legging a player and dying because of it. Holding mid or falling to ruin to hold the A flank is much more acceptable. On round 12, he's holding mid but gives up control, rotating to hold B site with his team. Only his teammates quickly shift to a post plant and he ends up holding 2 angles once again in no man's land. On round 15, he ends up watching dark for more than a minute. And while punishing CTs who rotate or make mistakes is one way to build impact, at this point in the game, 100% of his op play is completely based around catching rotations, and being denied opening kills. This is where I reiterate that CTs weren't aggressive on buy rounds, and it will make you feel less impactful if you're not pushing into their defense. Still on round 15, a teammate ends up clearing pillar and peeking heaven. naikz should be right there with him, and I say this because naikz walks towards A to go do exactly that, but goes back to water to hold the dark push. Instead, he second guesses himself. The enemy opper kills their mid player trying to work a split to A, and they lose their A entry player as well. Now a 3v5, and naikz's position contributes to the team switching to take B site instead. To continue, in round 20, naikz starts in dark, looking for an opening. Without any contact, he rotates to mid and ends up at the most passive angle possible in Museum. He's potentially supporting his teammate, only his teammate is continuously peeking A-con to mid, not only getting contact, but also not using naikz's angle. With the length of time in mid, playing off his teammate, he gets smoked off, and his teammate gets a double as they push mid to A. They could have gone to B, but naikz doesn't get to make that choice for them. So while he watches the smoke for a push, he's left everything up to his opponents again. There was plenty of information in these rounds to make different decisions, but in this short review, we won't be talking about alternatives. Instead, we want to help him realize that there's a habit here. It's not all bad, it's not all good, but I hope this successfully paints the picture that I'm trying to create. In this match, naikz showed two types of play. The second type only comes out when you aren't challenged on your opening frags. You're aware enough to want to do more aggressive things, but if you haven't found your opening frag, you're clearly most confident punishing aggressive rotations. If you're more aware of how passive and predictable this can make you, you'll have the opportunity to change. I found 4 major examples in a single match. Multiply that by 5 more league matches, and you'll have an average of 20 opportunities to change. Hopefully, by the end of that time, the conversation can change from why am I having no impact to why is my impact negative, or better, what else can I do? But you have a crucial change to work on first. Go make those changes, try new things first, and see what happens. Small changes like this to self-awareness will impact more than just the rounds I'm trying to help. As a result, if there's a next time, we may talk about a completely different set of problems. I hope this helps, and I hope your league season keeps going well. Cheers, Coach Wally.